You never truly know when life will change course, when something you believed unshakable suddenly collapses beneath you. For me, that moment arrived the day my husband passed away. At 50, I thought the twists of my life were behind me. I had already tasted passion in my youth, endured heartbreak, and later settled into the comfort of routine. My days were predictable companions. Morning coffee, work, the occasional lunch with a friend. I told myself love belonged to the past, tucked away with the echoes of laughter that once filled my marriage. And then he came. First, it was nothing extraordinary. David, 25, thoughtful, composed, a friend of my son, needed a temporary place to stay. I had a spare room. It was practical, harmless, uncomplicated. Or at least that's what I believed. David wasn't loud or attention-seeking, yet there was something about him. The way his eyes lingered, steady and searching, as if he truly noticed people in ways most no longer did. It unsettled me, and at the same time, it soothed something inside me. I reminded myself I was only being kind, offering hospitality. Nothing beyond that. But little by little, his presence began to stir places within me I thought had long gone numb. At first, it was only polite greetings, trivial conversations about groceries or the weather, easily forgotten words. Yet, there was a gentleness about him. Gestures so small they might have gone unnoticed, but I couldn't ignore them. An extra carton of milk in the fridge. A cup of tea placed beside me without asking. My dog walked before dawn. A faucet that had been dripping for months, fixed without a word. They weren't grand gestures, but they were thoughtful, considerate. And in those quiet acts, I realized something I hadn't wanted to face. I had forgotten what it meant to feel seen. One afternoon, he returned home carrying a blend of tea I hadn't tasted in years, one I had never mentioned. He handed it to me casually. "Thought you might like this," he said, as though it meant nothing. But it wasn't nothing. It was the very tea I had once cherished. I didn't know how he guessed, but the gesture landed with the weight of memory. It wasn't just tea, it was recognition. From then on, I noticed him differently. The soft hum he made while chopping vegetables. The way he leaned back in his chair when lost in thought. The steady calm of his voice when he asked questions no one had asked me in decades. What music shaped your youth? What frightened you most as a child? What did you imagine life would look like by now? I found myself answering honestly, slowly, as though he had earned pieces of me I had buried away. And he listened. Not distractedly, not with the half-attention people give while waiting to speak, but fully, as if my words mattered. And when he opened up about his own life, drifting from place to place, surrounded by people yet feeling unseen, I recognized my own loneliness mirrored in him. Beneath his calm exterior was a rawness, a vulnerability, that touched the broken parts of me. Then came the night everything shifted. A storm knocked the power out, leaving the house bathed in candlelight. We sat across from each other, tea warming our hands, silence stretching comfortably between us. His voice was soft when he asked, "Do you ever feel like you're chasing a future that keeps slipping away?" Something inside me broke open. "Yes," I whispered. "All the time." He looked at me in a way no one had in years. In that moment, the boundary between guest and stranger blurred into something unnamed, something I wasn't ready to define. After that, I began to notice dangerous things. The way his laughter lifted the heaviness from my chest. The way his gaze didn't question or demand, but saw me, as if I was worth being discovered. I tried to convince myself it was only companionship, comfort. But the truth was already weaving itself around my heart. One day, when the weight of everything pressed too hard, I shut myself away in my room. Most people retreat when someone closes off, but not David. He came in quietly, sat down beside me without speaking, simply stayed until I looked at him. "Are you okay?" he asked gently, as if my answer truly mattered. "I'm fine," I muttered, though I wasn't. He reached for my hand. His touch was steady, warm. "You don't have to be. You deserve to be held. I see you." Those words, unpolished yet sincere, undid me. I had been invisible for so long, even in my marriage. Yet here was this man, decades younger, seeing all the parts of me I thought had withered away. "This wasn't supposed to happen," I whispered. His gaze held mine. "I know," he said softly. "But I'm glad it did." There were no dramatic confessions after that. No promises under moonlight. Just a closeness that unfolded slowly, quietly, as if it had been waiting all along. Of course, doubts haunted me. The age difference, the shadow of judgment, the uncertainty of whether it could last. But every time I caught his eyes softening when he looked at me, those doubts faded. Eventually, David moved into his own place. Life shifted again, but more gently this time. He still visited. Still left a mug of tea by my chair. Still asked about my day as if it mattered. And that's when I understood something profound. Love doesn't always arrive with fireworks or grand gestures. Sometimes it slips in quietly, wearing ordinary clothes, offering a warm drink and simply asking, "How are you holding up?" What David gave me wasn't only affection. He gave me back something I thought I'd lost forever. Myself. He reminded me that life doesn't end with loss, that second chapters can bloom in silence, in patience, in presence. And maybe, just maybe, this wasn't the end of my story at all. It was the beginning of another.